You got the law, what it says, and then what it does in practice. Batson challenges, Batson versus Kentucky, a case that only came out in 1986, is essentially how the law addresses the issue of race as it relates to the Sixth Amendment and a person's right, or the accused's right, to have a impartial jury. And in that case, the Supreme Court in a 7-2 decision decided that it was a violation of the Sixth Amendment and the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause to allow the state to exclude jurors with peremptory strikes in the selection process based on race. Up until that point, you could just get rid of all the black jurors if you were lucky enough to have any of the trial of the black person, and the law had no protection. So this is what it did. It said you can't do it. That's a violation of the constitutional rights of the accused here. You're violating the 6th and the 14th Amendment. So what do we have now? How does that protection really work, and does it? No. But what Batson pretty much established, that case, is essentially the way that we're going to make sure that prosecutors, or the state is not striking members of juries based on race. Is we're going to set up a procedure to ensure that there aren't any violations of the 6th or 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause. And here's what you got to do. First of all, the defense has the burden and must make out a prima facie, or just a good case to pass the smell test that the state has used their peremptory strikes to strike jurors on the basis of race alone. So first of all, the defense has to convince the judge that we need to look into this further. It has to be done in a timely fashion. And then if they carry this burden, then the state must then give the court and state a race-neutral reason for using the peremptory challenge. As a practical matter, they can say anything. They can say, well, that person didn't make eye contact with me. All they have, it's really an intelligence test or an IQ test for a district attorney in upholding the Batson challenge. So the law says you can't do it. Does a pretty terrible and poor job of ensuring it doesn't happen. And so, of course, the system moves on the way it moves on, and people continue to be excluded based on race.